So, with all the fame and glory going to Union Pacific's Big Boy as the world's largest and strongest steam locomotive, and the hype around Pennsylvania Railroad's new build T1, what if there was a locomotive that was larger, stronger, and more ambitious than the previous two? May I introduce you to the Baldwin Triplexes. As the name triplex suggests, these locomotives have 3 sets of drive wheels. The Erie ones boasting a 2-8-8-8-2 wheel arrangement, with Virginia's one and only triplex boasting a 2-8-8-8-4 wheel arrangement. Theoretically, these locomotives can pull a 6.5 mile long freight train. That is pretty impressive for locomotives built between 1914 and 1916. From my understanding, these locomotives were built in the era where they were experimenting with self-propelled tenders that have drive wheels just like the locomotive itself. Probably likely to improve upon the design even more. Sadly, this is it for positive things to say about the triplex. The triplex locomotives were sadly coated with many flaws, most notably being their speed. They were so slow because as their tender had drive wheels too, when fuel was being consumed, the tender got lighter and lighter, thus losing adhesion on the rails, leading to wheel slippage and wasting steam. However, driving wheels under the tender was not the only problem that made it so slow. The boiler was simply too small to feed 6 cylinders. Even the Virginian Railroad's triplex had a boiler too small to supply all that steam. The Erie Railroad's triplexes could only reach speeds of up to 10 miles an hour, while the Virginians can only reach speeds of 5 miles an hour. Human beings could outrun these things. Even though they were more than strong enough to handle the heavy trains up the steep grades of these railroads, they were a little too strong as they had a bad habit of destroying couplers of heavy freight trains. Eventually, the triplex locomotives were scrapped in the 30s, with the exception, of course, of Virginian's triplex, where it was dismantled into 2 separate locomotives, a simple mallet and a conventional tender locomotive with a single set of drive wheels. However, the triplexes were not the craziest part, as Baldwin once attempted to propose a quadrupleplex, a quintuplex, and a hexaplex. Yes, you heard me right. Times like this, I just want to ask Baldwin, what are you doing? I feel like I'm looking at that giant, ominous spaceship from Spaceballs just by looking at this thing. Just, what? Baldwin! What the heck? Just, why? Belgium did attempt to build a quadrupleplex locomotive, albeit no way similar to Baldwin's designs, where this design had 2 separate boilers, making it successful. However, that's a whole nother story. Now it's time for the question you've all been waiting for. Do I want to see this thing rebuilt? I need to be honest with you guys and say no. It's just too big and too powerful to keep around, and even way too expensive to build and put in a museum. I can understand the S1 because it is a real big and beautiful locomotive, but a triplex, man? Just no. Oh boy. Too strong, too slow, too big. For anything. Excursions, mainline, preservation, museum. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. Because it can't happen. I am so sorry, triplex fans. I don't know what to say. Anyways, this thus ends my video. Thank you all so much for watching. And before I sign off, I want to give a huge shout out to Train of Thought, where his information really helped me to make this video. So Train of Thought, shout out to you, buddy. Thank you guys so much for watching, as I've already said, and I will see you in the next video where I showcase my Gauge 1 Edward. Bye!